Carlos Nelson with Cascade Sports, and tonight we have one of our coaches that has supported Cascade Sports from day one when he was the head coach, basketball coach for UMKC's men's squad, Mr. Kareem Richardson. He's down at North Carolina State, where last year they contended for the national championship. Welcome to the show, Kareem.
Appreciate it, Carlos.
Hey, Kareem, uh, because I spent so much time talking about some other things off camera, run it down. You told me you pressed for time. Run it down. What has taken place over the last year? When I talked to you, I think it was in June. It was before the y'all even knew y'all were going to be in that seat. Run down from that point what it was like, that journey to where we're at now.
Well, shoot, man, as you know, a ton of work going into it. Big thing for us, just kind of the way the landscape of college basketball, and really college athletics, period, is. We had to really revamp our roster from a team that went to the NCAA tournament, losing in the first round. We lost a lot of key pieces. So from the time when we talked, we were still trying to get our roster together for last year, this previous year, and that meaning getting into the transfer portal. We brought in 7 new guys last year. A couple of high school guys, but mainly five transfer portal guys. And so, just trying to, not knowing, it took us a while, not knowing how long it's ever going to take to get the chemistry together, especially when you're talking about guys that have come from different programs, different colleges, different universities and whatnot. And so, we struggled, to be quite frank with you, to going into last year, at the beginning of the year. Started off well, then we kind of hit some rough patches. Had a pretty tough schedule last year, and it was again, to be frank again, started kind of hearing rumors throughout the year of if we were going to make it in terms of, you know us being on the hot seat, not winning enough games, coming off of a year, which is kind of wild to me, considering, it's always what have you done for me lately? And we were just coming off of a coming off of an NCAA tournament run, which, there had been some laps there. And so it just amazed me how quickly it had forgotten that what we did the previous year. We were ranked a part of the year. And but to kind of start as the year went along, we were having our struggles. And then but I tell you what Coach Keats did, our head coach did, man. He kept everybody grounded, tried to keep all of the naysayers at bay. And it's easy with social media to be
The
able to
noise.
the noise. It's funny, yeah. The noise. Yeah, we heard about the noise, but we kept our guys locked in into what we were trying to do. And one of the most amazing runs that probably in the history of college basketball, to be quite honest with you, we had dropped to finish the year. We dropped 4 straight games, which we finished our last 4 games were at Florida State. We came home to play. No, we had to go to Carolina. Our next game at the Florida State, and then that was on a Saturday. And then Monday, we played Duke at home for senior night, and then had to go on the road to finish up at Pitt, who was continuing to go to the NCAA tournament as well. And so four games that really anybody could lose in a row, and we did. We lost those, and man, and the noise was loud. But Coach Keats and all of us, we did a good job of keeping the guys positive. We were right there in all of the games. the Pitt game, our last game of the year at Pitt, one of our key players goes down. We end up losing by 3 points. And then we go into the ACC tournament. We had to win 5 games in 5 days, nothing something that had never been done in the ACC tournament. And there was only one other team in NCAA history that had done that. If you remember, that was UConn, did it where they won 5 games in 5 days, and they went on to win the national championship. But man, to do what we did, to set out, to go in there and, everybody's counting. Yeah, we had to go in there and play. We played start on Tuesday, beat Louisville, had to come back the next day on Wednesday, played Syracuse, who had beaten us twice, beat Syracuse, and then to really kind of start the tournament. So now the fans start coming in. Then our third game, we played Duke, and then in the semis we played Virginia. We're down 3 with about 4 or 5 seconds left. Their best free throw shooter shooting 89%, misses the front end of a 1-and-1. We go down and make about a 35-footer bank shot, which everybody calls around the shot that sends it to overtime, and then win that game in overtime, and then go on to beat arch rival Carolina in the championship game to finish off the run of 5 games in 5 days. And then, it's then we go into.
Hey, Coach,
Yeah.
let me interrupt you for a minute. Now that you're talking about that run, what was that big man's name that y'all had on the squad?
DJ Burns.
He
DJ
was going to
Burns
work on them, baby.
going to work. He became Carlos. He became like a really not only a country and college, but a worldwide sensation.
Right.
He just he had the character, or has the character. He had the smile. He played with like just a joy about him. And to be honest, a little overweight, kind of, a lot of the average fan, could relate. Like, my man, guys, old people like me going to the Y who are out of shape. It's like, man, DJ Burns is like almost, 300 plus pounds. He's out there throwing no looks, hooking. And so average fan can relate to him and the joy that he played with. And
And
again, he
man,
just,
down low, he was acting like, I guess he was acting like himself, but remind me of Shaq. It was like,
yeah,
get
he was
back,
down there.
baby. Rough and ready here. And
He
as you
could do
say, that
it.
that went around the world from where he came from, how he looked, and it just seemed like that catapulted him. And thinking about that, I compare that to the WNBA, that girl that was from Colombia, that plays,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And so it was, I mean, he was the ACC tournament MVP, went on to be South Regional MVP. And so yeah, so we go to, after winning our 5 games, man, like it's we come back and we recoup a little bit, and we were, wait for the seeding to come out. And we were an 11 seed, which was, to be honest with you, it was a little disrespectful, doing what we did, and then being in the league that we're in. We just thought that, man, 11 seed, but it ended up being a blessing. Our guys use it as even more motivation and fuel. And our first round opponent, who was a 6 seed in Texas Tech, man, I mean, we rolled those guys pretty good, to be honest with you. And then we kept the momentum going, and we rode it out. Next round, if you remember, Oakland upset Kentucky. And so we ended up playing Oakland, who's, I mean, tough ball club, beat them to go to Sweet 16. Then, we roll up against Marquette in the Sweet 16, who had been a top 15, top 20 program all year long, ended up beating those guys. And then we played, matched up with Duke in the Elite Eight to go to the Final Four and beat those guys in
You
Dallas to
beat
go to
Duke
the
twice, right?
beat Duke twice, beat them in the ACC tournament, and then turn around and beat them in the Elite Eight to go to the Final Four. And as you could imagine, that was one of the most watched games really in the history of college basketball. NC State versus Duke to go to the Final Four.
One other
Um,
thing, let me interrupt you because as I'm replaying this, what was your fan base like? What
oh
did that do
man.
for your fan base as y'all start
Well,
rising?
yeah, you would have thought we were the John Woodens of college basketball. Of all it, so we go from the noise, right? The hearing all of the noise to we're the best thing. Coach Keats is the best thing since sliced bread. You know what I
I
mean? And
like
like he's John Thompson of college basketball. And so, but it comes with the territory. It's cool, but our fan base. But now I will say we have one of the most passionate fans. They want to win. We're in what they call the triangle. Got us, Carolina, and Duke, and all three fan bases are rabid, right? Like they're competitive, they're knowledgeable, and but our fans they showed up and they showed out in the latter part of the ACC tournament and throughout our run. And Carlos, when we got to the Final Four in Phoenix and they did the national anthem, and there's a part of the national anthem, and our fans yell out red. And man, our fan they showed up and showed out in Phoenix and throughout, like I said, throughout the run. And so it was pretty cool. And then after we got beat by Purdue in the semis. But when we got back and the celebration they had for us on campus and in the town was very humbling and pretty cool to witness.
so where are we at going into this season?
Kind of where we just at the beginning of this talk, we lost, like you mentioned, we lost DJ Burns, we lost, and I can't forget about DJ Horn, who is actually our leading scorer, guard, who was from Raleigh. So we lost, and we lost Casey Morcell. So we lost some pieces. So we got back in the transfer portal, which is kind of honestly been a savior for us to try to continue to stay old in the profession in the college realm. And so we've reloaded with some guys, and we're back to square one again, man. Like
Can you talk
we
about
do have
any
some
of the
returns.
reloads? Can you talk about any recruits per se?
Yeah. We got, but I'll start with, we have a couple guys that were on the Final Four. Michael O'Connell, who is our starting point, ended up being our starting point guard down the stretch, who would like to see us totally healthy with him against Purdue. He went down early in the game against Purdue with an injury that really hurt us. But Michael O'Connell's back. We got Ben Middlebrooks, who was a key integral piece coming off of the backup DJ Burns. So he'll be a senior part of the Final Four run. We got Breon Pass. So we have several pieces that were a part of the Final Four run that are back. Jaden Taylor, who is a key integral part of our run. He's back, so we sprinkle in some new guys. Brandon Hatfield Huntley, who is a transfer from Louisville, probably one of the most talented bigs in the league. So he
Got
transferred.
any measurements on him?
Brandon's about 6'10", phenomenal body, about 225, 230, chisel, a little different than DJ Burns in terms of stature, really athletic guy. And then we got his Mike James, who's also a transfer from Louisville. Mike James about 6'5", 6'6", wing, can really shoot the ball, very athletic. And we also brought in transfer Marcus Hill Jr. From Bowling Green, who is one of the nation's leading scorers. He averaged close to 21 points a game at Bowling Green last year. So we'll be expecting big things from him as a guard. He's about a 6'1", 6'2" guard, really strong physical guard, lefty, who can get to the rim, do some things, really guard the basketball. And then then we got Ismail Diouf, who's a kid from Canada, about 6'10", kid from Canada. He played college basketball in Canada at a really highly touted school there, who's going to come over and play with us this year. And man, and so we got a couple freshmen, Trey Parker, who's probably, if you look up Trey, he's probably got over 1 million followers on social media. Really a media phenom.
I
Like
need
my
to
son.
hire him now.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. Like his media following's off the charts. He's won probably every dunk contest coming out of high school. He's only about 6'1", but the fashion, he's got all the fashion and got all the thing. But he's a good player as well. And
Hey,
so
Coach, tell me, where did y'all go this summer? Most Division I colleges they go to Europe or they go
yeah,
somewhere.
yeah.
Where'd y'all go this summer?
We weren't able to do a foreign tour this year. You're allowed to do one foreign tour every 4 years.
Oh, I didn't
And
know that. I thought that took
yeah,
place every year.
yeah,
All right.
we're not eligible to do it. We still have a couple more years because we went to the Bahamas 2 years ago. So we still have two more summers before we can do another foreign tour. So we stay local. We did, like everybody, we did our summer workouts with our guys, trying to build that chemistry and build that unity and put in our systems in
Did you get
place.
any local kids?
Yeah, we got a transfer, Dontrez Styles. He's from not right in Raleigh. He's from Kingston, which isn't far away, home of Jerry Stackhouse. But he started off at Carolina, was at Georgetown last year, so he's coming, quote unquote, back home. Our Trey Parker kid is from Fayetteville, which isn't far away. So we got some pieces that we got Paul McNeil Jr., who's from about an hour and a half away from Raleigh. So we got some pieces that are close by, whatnot, that will help our our fan base, because all those guys have high followings.
One other thing, with Cascade Sports being home of the student athlete, what does your program stress as it relates to these kids' education?
Oh, it's huge. You know, Coach Keats, Kevin Keats is let's just be frank, man. He's a black coach in this thing, and understands the importance of our athletes getting their degree, and not only, Carla, like not only just getting their degree, man. Like we really the landscape of basketball is totally different with the NIL, and guys getting have an opportunity to earn significant money a lot of times, especially at this level. And so we try to it's not just about a degree, man. We try to get these guys educated. And I think there's a difference between just getting a degree and being educated. And that means bringing people in with financial literacy, so these guys understand how to, you'd be amazed, man. A lot of these dudes have never written a check before, don't know how to keep their finances in order, which is perfectly fine. That's a part of our job, to try to help these guys mature and be educated. And so we do some things with some financial literacy. We bring in, with the pressures that these guys have, we bring in and talk about guys with mental health. The fact that, especially being a tip, black people, black men in
Glad you brought
general.
that in, Coach, because
Yeah.
what uh, I probably break this daggone interview up into parts, but uh, because you have a lot of coaching experience, how has those two or three things changed over the last 20 years? Financial literacy, with bringing that into the programs, and the mental health aspect,
Yeah.
uh, and the whole socialization process. Because when you think about these high caliber athletes, not, they have exceptions, but most of them have spent their lives from really kindergarten to where they're at, honing their skills athletically.
Right. Yeah, no, it's changed. I mean, it's night and day from when I first got into the business. Heck, even from the time I was at UMKC, being finished up at 19, it's changed. It changes year to year, but man, these guys are having these college athletes are having the opportunity to make money that man, I could only dream about. That it took us lifetime to get to what they're making now, and so to be able to help these guys understand the do's and don'ts of their money. Now, ultimately, it's going to be their choice to do what they want, but at least it's our job, in my opinion, to present them, how to what a stock looks like, how to invest, what the stock market looks like, where to, and don't forget about taxes now. A lot of these kids and parents don't understand that they got to pay taxes on there, and so Uncle Sam going to be coming calling at the end of each year, like we wanted with their handout. And so, are you putting money aside for your taxes, if to be able to pay those off? What's a 1099? What are all these different terminologies that help these guys? So it's totally different. And from the mental health standpoint of it, it's real, man. That is, like I said, us black men, and especially, I'm 50 now, and you're a little older than I am, and we understand, like, we we had to suck it up, right? Like, there was no being mentally soft or being mentally, quote unquote, weak, and things shouldn't
Hey, toughen
bother
it
us.
up. Tough up.
Toughen it up. Rub some dirt on it and let's go. Like, you're supposed to suppress all your emotions, and things aren't supposed to bother you. But it's different. It's a reality. All of us, and not just the athletes, but they need direction, and that it's okay to feel certain ways, or to have emotion, and to have some struggle. There's people out there that can help them, and so we bring in, and we have somebody on call all the time, and we really try to encourage all our guys to take advantage of that, and understand, like, man, it's a real thing. And it's sad, man. Like, you turn on the TV, and people with the most money are out there. You hear about depression or commit suicide, and you're like, man, how in the world could a millionaire? But man, it's that mental aspect is strong and
Pressure
is
will
powerful.
bust pipes, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ain't no doubt about it.
Hey, coach, and summing up this interview, what would you have to say to the young athletes trying to reach Division I, and then what would you have to say to your fan base about this upcoming season?
Well, about any student athlete that's trying to get to Division I, or forget Division I, man, getting to college basketball at any level is hard. Especially, it's even harder now for the high school. And I'll just speak for college basketball. I don't want to speak for any other sport from this term, but because of the landscape. Just listen to what I just talked about. Us were going into the transfer portal, recruiting these older players from different places, different schools, or what have you. And now the high school kids are kind of being put on the back burner with the recruiting process. And so, what I would tell a high school, especially particularly a high school athlete, is don't necessarily get caught up in Division I or your divisions, because there's Division II, there's great basketball, there's super high level competitive. I started off coaching at the Division II level at the University of Indianapolis, so I know you got Rockhurst there in town in Kansas City, and you got William Jewell, and those are high level basketball, where high level basketball is being played. There's high level coaches, Division III or whatever. So don't be so closed minded and getting caught up in levels. Just try to get yourself in a situation where you feel comfortable with the head coach, you feel comfortable with the coaching staff, you feel comfortable about the education that university or college can present to you, and let that be your drive. And at the end of the day, to be honest with you, if you have the game, we will find you to move up to go to a division. There's plenty of Division II players that move on and transfer and go up to Division I, or no knock on a UMKC, but a lower level Division I. If you have aspirations of playing at NC State, go kill it at a quote unquote lower level, mid major, and then you could transfer up. That's the way the nature of it is right now. And so don't get caught up in the level. And everybody's journey is different. And don't get caught up in oh man, that person over there, I'm better than him or better than her. Like just try to stay your path and your path, and try not to be a comparison of anybody else's path, because everybody else is different.
Now
And Carlos, yeah, finally, in terms of our fan base, what we're looking forward to is, man, I feel Coach Keats has built this thing the right way, and we have a foundation for winning. And so the way he goes about last year was awesome, but man, we've turned the page. We're excited about the returning guys that we have in the Michael O'Connells and the Ben Middlebrooks and the Dennis Parker Juniors of the world. But we're also excited about some of the new guys that we brought in, Brandon that we talked about, Trey Parker. So we have a conglomerate of talent here that's exciting. But as you know, you've been around sports long enough, it's not just all about the talent. It's about the chemistry and the camaraderie, and the belief, the will to win. And Coach Keats has done a heck of a job, and really anticipate us being right there to try to make another run at the NCAA tournament, and kind of see what happens.
All right. For you people that watch Cascade Sports and you think that we soft, watch out, because we go hard in the paint, baby.
This program is brought to you by the City of Fountains Coaches Association.